So the NBA is changing the All-Star Game format for Kobe. And just to add a little bit of spin on it, so the hoopsrumors.com reports from Luke Adams about 20 minutes ago that they're going to make changes to this year. They're basically going to make changes. They've already made changes to the rosters. Basically, they made it captains. Like the captains are the players who get the most fan votes. Those are the captains. So this year it's Giannis and LeBron James. And Reynolds explains, each of one of the first three quarters will essentially function as its own mini game. So this is interesting. This is the interesting part. So instead of having a full-length basketball game, because it's been so damn boring the last couple of years, like nobody even watches the All-Star game anymore because it sucks, they're going to have three quarters that will function as their own mini game. So the score will reset at each of the quarters. So each quarter becomes important. So you need to play your fresh players. So this is where a good deep bench for the All-Star game will be very important. So the score will reset to 0-0 at the start of the second quarter and again at the start of the third quarter. The team that wins each of those quarters will win $100,000 up to $300,000 in total for a Chicago area charity of its choosing. So they get to choose the charity if they win. So these players are going to be more motivated than they usually were, because it's usually just, hey, come to All-Star game and play a game that doesn't mean anything. And people just don't care. They don't play defense. They don't try. So at the start of the fourth quarter, according to Reynolds, the cumulative game score will be restored. The team that's ahead will need to score 24 more points to win the game, which is a tribute to Kobe Bryant's uniform number in his latter half of his career. For instance, if Team LeBron is leading Team Giannis by 190, a 100 to 90 margin for the first three quarters, the first team to score 120 points would win that game, and an additional. Or the first team with 124, basically from 90 or 100, would win the game. An additional $200,000 for the charity, which of their choosing, will be given out. Unlike the first three quarters, the final quarter will be untimed. So they can play as hard a defense as they want. They can go as hard as they can because there's no time. It's not a shooting competition anymore. It's going to be, the final quarter will be basically a lot of one-on-ones, a lot of team defense, and it could be very, very interesting. I think we'll see a lot of three-point shots, especially in the fourth, because nobody's going to want to get injured diving to the rack. But at the same time, who knows? It could be very interesting. So Byron Spruill said of the All-Star Game, which is the NBA President, League of Operations, he said, we're very focused on making it more competitive, making it more exciting, and making it more fun. We've had a great collaboration with the union, the Players Union, for this year's game. We're really focused on what's new, what we could do to make it a really competitive game where each quarter mattered in its own way, or in this case, I guess, is what he says. So according to Reynolds' idea, the target score at the end of the game will be kind of an Elam ending. Is something NBA President Chris Paul, NBA PA President Chris Paul, the Players Association, had suggested in the past. And if you don't know what that is, let me pull that up for you. Elam's ending. So Elam's ending is, it changes the way basketball is played at the end of the game by eliminating the shot clock. Okay, so yeah, that's what we talked about earlier. It's just eliminating the clock, setting the target score based on the leading opponent's total. So basically, if you're leading by 5 points, you'll get an extra 5 points to start the fourth quarter to finish the game. A target score is set equaling the leading team's total points plus 7. So it's just basically, they have 3 timed quarters, and then they have the fourth quarter untimed, and then they go all out in the fourth quarter. It's basically what it is. They're making them go all out. They're making them play harder in the fourth quarter. Tying the score to Bryant's number is just one of the tributes that NBA has planned for the All-Star Weekend. So this is just one thing they're going to do to honor Kobe, Gianna, and the 7 others who died in Sunday's helicopter crash in California. According to Reynolds, the format is just changed for 1 year. So this is a 1-year thing unless everyone loves it. If everyone doesn't love it, it's probably going to go back to the way it was. But if people do like it, then they'll just keep it the way it is. However, the NBA is hoping to is hoping that the quarter score for charity aspect and the target score ending will be fixtures. So basically, they're trying to donate more charity, the NBA is. So they're trying to make this more about charity, All-Star game, because then it gives the players something to fight for. If you just have them come out there and say, all right, guys, go out there. I know you get paid $30 million a year, but go play a meaningless basketball game. They're going to be like, go fuck yourself. Like, I'd rather be in the gym. But if you tell them, hey, you get to choose which charity you want to give it to. Here's $300,000 if you win. Then they're going to be like, okay, well, shit, all right, I want to win this game. So it's going to be a little bit different, and they're also going to be doing tributes to Kobe, his family, and the other victims of that helicopter crash. Everyone, let me know what you think in the comments below. Have a great day. Enjoy the All-Star Week.